We spend our lives submerged in moving matter, whether it's the invisible air gliding over an aircraft wing or millions of gallons of water surging through the pipelines beneath a city. We are surrounded by physical forces. Fluid mechanics is the study of how these liquids and gases behave, both when they are at rest and when they are in motion. To understand these behaviors, you have to start with pressure. In engineering, pressure is defined as the amount of force applied over a specific area. This cross-section of a hydraulic system demonstrates Pascal's principle, which states that any pressure applied to a confined fluid is transmitted equally in every direction. Because the math here is predictable, engineers can use this principle to build machines that lift 2-ton vehicles with only a small amount of applied force. Once those liquids and gases start moving, the rules change. We have to rely on Bernoulli's principle, one of the most important concepts in the field. Bernoulli discovered a specific relationship. As the speed of a fluid increases, its pressure decreases. This explains how an airplane wing generates lift. Fast-moving air over the curved top creates a low-pressure zone, pulling the wing upward. The same physics happens in your bathroom. A high-velocity showerhead stream drops air pressure, pulling the curtain inward. On paper, these equations make fluid behavior look neat and perfectly solvable. But when we move from simple diagrams to the real world, we encounter a chaotic reality that breaks the math. Real fluids resist movement. This internal friction is called viscosity, and it's the reason honey flows much slower than water. Because of this resistance and the momentum of the fluid, motion eventually fractures into 2 distinct states. The first is laminar flow. In this state, fluid particles move smoothly in parallel, orderly layers. But if the speed or density increases too much, that order completely shatters. The fluid flow becomes turbulent, characterized by chaotic, swirling eddies and rapid mixing throughout the fluid. To determine when this collapse will happen, engineers calculate a value called the Reynolds number. It accounts for the fluid's velocity, density, and viscosity, as well as the size of the flow path. Once a fluid crosses the threshold into turbulence, standard equations can no longer predict exactly where individual fluid particles will go. To describe the motion of viscous fluids in full mathematical detail, physicists use the Navier-Stokes equations. These equations represent a rigorous effort to map physical reality of viscous friction into formal calculus. However, these equations are so difficult to solve exactly that they are classified as one of the 7 Millennium Prize problems in mathematics. Because we can't solve them perfectly, engineers use computational fluid dynamics, or CFD. This software divides space into millions of tiny cells and calculates the fluid behavior in each one. CFD lets engineers digitally test how air flows over a car or water moves through turbines, identifying performance issues without building a physical prototype. By using these millions of micro-calculations to approximate unsolvable equations, engineers can accurately predict how air and water interact with the machine before it's ever manufactured. We see the results of this compromise everywhere. Precise pipe flow calculations allow engineers to size miles of pipelines to avoid excessive pressure loss over long distances. Industrial machines like pumps and compressors are built entirely on these principles to move liquids and gases through our infrastructure. But moving through these fluids always carries a penalty. This is drag, the resistive force a fluid exerts on any object moving through it. Minimizing drag is a primary goal. Whether it's a hypercar or commercial aircraft, reducing resistance increases fuel efficiency and allows for higher top speeds. Ultimately, balancing the opposing forces of lift and drag dictates how effectively an aircraft, drone, or wind turbine blade will perform. Fluid mechanics provides the toolkit for predicting the behavior of liquids and gases, allowing engineers to design everything from efficient jet engines to complex urban water systems. But once we manipulate these chaotic fluids to push against our machines, a new problem emerges. How do we ensure that the metals and composites we use to build them won't simply tear apart under the stress?